Hey guys, I am on a road trip from my home state of Louisiana to the Midwest. I'm running a little bit behind due to Hurricane Francis, which came through a couple of days ago. Got everything tidied up, wasn't too bad. I just stopped by my little lease here in Mississippi to grab a camera, move some cameras, and check on these plots that I planted about a week and a half ago. Got a couple of decent bucks here. One buck in particular that I'd like to kind of hunt if he's still around. He's been real inconsistent on a mineral lick. I've moved some cameras around trying to find him, and he just shows up once every couple of weeks. I don't even think he's staying on the property, but I'm hoping with when the acres start dropping on this creek I got running through, and these clay peas and this plot mix that I got, when it gets up good, maybe I can pull him in here and get him a little bit more consistent. That's the plan. I'm about to hit the road. I got my camera and check these plots. They look really good, coming up nice. I'll be gone about a week, and I'll have to come back here and put some urea on these plots and move some cameras around, and then it won't be long until October 1st, so maybe I can get a little better intel on this buck, or maybe the other buck. There's two bucks together. One of them in particular is the one I'm interested in, but I'm gonna hit the road. I'll see you shortly. A few months ago, I got an invite from a very generous friend to make a few hunts on some private farms that he had permission to hunt. I would only be able to make 3 evening hunts on the farms before John had some family plans that would keep him busy for a few days. I decided the best use of my time outside of hunting with John would be to scout and learn as much of the public within a reasonable distance of the farms he had permission on. This area is mostly flatland, agricultural fields, and broken up pieces of public. Drove around yesterday basically trying to find access. Some of this stuff's pretty hard to access, and seen a few deer. I walked in on a little piece, and I found a pretty good crossing with some rubs. I may go back there and hunt that. I just walked in on this chunk. I've seen 2 or 3 does already. Looks like most of the deer I've been seeing are around these small ponds and water holes like I got here. So I'm gonna make my way back here. There's a pinch between a waterway and a lake or a small pond. I'm gonna see what that looks like. A lot of ag here. A lot of the ag is on private though, not on public. So I'm just gonna make my way. Mostly gonna scout today. Tomorrow I got some private. I'm gonna hunt for about 3 days with a buddy of mine up here on some ag fields, and then after that I'm gonna be back on public for 3 or 4 days. So let's see what we can find. Maybe we can find a couple places to set up on, and don't know, get a shot. It's early season. It's hot. It's not the best conditions. I'm hoping to find some rubs. I don't know if I haven't seen many mash trees in this area. If I find some acorn trees that are dropping, that would be great. And I'm trying to cover a lot of ground and just find some spots with the limited time I got. Let's go see what we can find. Had to stop a minute. Been in the sun. It's pretty warm. Anyway, I come down this timber edge, and I fell off of this drain. There's a lake here. There's a pond right here. I'm gonna try to get around this pond and get between this pond and the river. Sit number 1, 2024. I wanted to hunt a pond that I scouted this morning. I found a lot of sign around, but apparently another guy beat me to it. So I was left the options to come hunt this other pond that I found this morning also, with a little bit less sign, but still some sign. Or to drive somewhere else and hope that nobody was in that spot. So I decided just to make this evening sit here. I don't know if I'll see anything. It's a pretty day. I got a southeast wind. The setup is I got crops behind me a few hundred yards, and I got a river out in front of me, and I got this pond right here. And I'm on the south side of this pond. So I'm hoping I'm not too close to the pond because I can't get in a tree, and I don't want the deer to come downwind of me. So I'm hoping that I'm between the pond, that there's enough area between me and the pond for the deer to circle this pond, come downwind, check the pond, and go in the water, and I can get a shot. I don't know if there are any bucks in here. I saw 2 small bucks this morning. I haven't seen any buck sign. I have seen some big tracks, but I haven't seen any rubs or scrapes or anything yet. It's early. It's September 15th. So I've been scouting the last 2 days. Found a couple of good spots. My priority spot was the spot I was going to go this evening, but as I was putting my gear on, a guy pulled up, jumped out of his car, grabbed his bow, and headed straight to the pond. I was like, wow, man, you could at least ask me where I was going or something, you know, but that's public land. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to see anything or not, but I wanted to bring you along for the first sit of 2024. Hopefully we'll see something, at least get a little footage of some deer, see where they're coming out on this lake at and what they're doing. Hang tight. Had to put my scouting pants on, keep the hitchhikers off of my hunting pants. This is a different piece. This piece is got beans on one side, or kind of backwards here. Got beans on one side, but the beans are yellowed on top. I don't think the deer are in those beans on that side, but I got standing corn over here. This is like a long strip, and there's a drainage that goes through the corn, through the beans, and you can see this is real thick brush behind me, so I'm going to walk this strip of public to get to that drainage and see if they're traveling that drainage back and forth between those beans and corn, and also see if they're bedding in here. Maybe I can find where they're crossing this drainage or something. Unlike the other spots I've been in, I think there's some hardwood trees. I saw some acorns on the side of the road up here around this other side, so I'm going to check this out first. And just pretty much spend the whole morning scouting. Basically what I'm doing right now for today and tomorrow is scouting in the mornings and hunting that private in the evenings. We saw a good buck on that private yesterday evening right at dark. So I'm hoping, he came out of the corn, I'm hoping we can get set up on him this evening and maybe see him again. I don't know if we bumped him out of there last night or not getting out, but I'm going to check this piece out and see what I can find. Alright guys, I think I found what I've been looking for. I got a bean field. Right out here. Beans are turning. I got a creek to my right over here. And these ridges drop down, and they got ditches that run into that creek. And on these ridges are white oaks, and they're dropping, and there's sign everywhere. I walked 2 little finger ridges, and I've probably seen 20 rubs, fresh rubs. So there's a bachelor group of bucks coming in here. I don't know how big they are. The biggest rub I found was about as big as my wrist, and it was fresh. So I'm going to come back in here and hunt in the next day or two. I dropped a pin. This is what I've been looking for. These trails are coming and crossing these side ditches paralleling this creek between these beans and this main creek right here. I think this is going to work. I finally found some acorn trees dropping on the edge of these bean fields, and they are tearing them up. That's what I was hoping to find. We're going to find out. That's what you got to deal with after a good day's scouting. So, the purpose for me of a early season trip like this is not necessarily to kill a big deer, but my plans are hunting this area during the rut in November. And I've never been here before, so I got a friend of mine that lives up here that I met who invited me to hunt some private land with him. And being that I'm up here, I'm trying to learn public ground also in this area, so that when I'm not hunting with him, I can hunt the public land also. And so I've been bouncing around trying to find spots on public, just scouting, learning the lay of the land. Really hard to kill a mature buck right now unless you can find one. Being that I don't live here and I can't, glass every day and everything. I'm just trying to hopefully run into one or find a bunch of buck sign, which is what I've done today. So I found that spot with all those rubs and droppings, and the ground is just tore up. That looks like a very good potential spot. A lot of rubs, probably 20 something rubs in there. There may not be any shooters, maybe just a bachelor group of young 2-3 year old bucks, I don't know. We'll see. But for the first time yesterday evening, I hunted the private land with John, and I didn't see anything, but he saw a really good buck. So this evening we're going to slip in there on that cut cornfield and try to set up, and hopefully those bucks, I think it was a bachelor group of bucks, they said it was 3 bucks. Hopefully they'll do the same thing they did yesterday, and maybe we can get a shot at that good deer. And so I'm going to hunt this private ground with him for the next 3 evenings. In the mornings, I'm going to hunt on some public and scout. And then after those 3 evenings of hunting private with him, I'll be hunting public full time for the next several days. Mainly just trying to learn this ground, maybe kill a doe. I don't expect to really kill a good deer here, unless, like I said, unless I just happen to locate one. But the main purpose of the trip this early in the year is to just learn new ground. So in the future, I'll know some spots. When I come here in November to hunt the rut, I'll know some areas, and maybe for years to come, potentially. I enjoy doing that. I just enjoy traveling and learning new ground and finding spots and just doing deer hunting things. It really doesn't matter what it is. And eating chicken and sausage and rice. For the next 2 days, I continued to scout mornings and hunt the cornfield with John in the evenings. The first evening, 3 bucks came into the cornfield, but it was far too late to see. I think they were the same 3 bucks, which included the buck John had seen the evening before, but too much light had faded for me to be certain. The last evening ended with 3 small bucks entering the field late, and a group of coyotes coming out and clearing the field right at prime time. Alright, so I'm in here where I found all those rubs and droppings and white oaks the other day. It rained this morning, it just quit raining. It's about noon. So I came in here. There was a small buck in those beans out there. I had to detour around him. This is a ridge. I got beans behind me. This is a ridge that drops off right here. And there's a trail coming down this ridge, and then one behind me paralleling it. There's a drainage ditch right here that falls off into this bottom, and there's a creek running this way. Wind is out of the southeast, which is just this way, which is blowing my scent away from the beans and off of this ridge, which should go into that creek. So if I get a deer coming down this ridge, I should have a shot. A lot of rubs in here, some fresh droppings, and these white oaks were dropping acorns. That was 2 days ago I came in here. I'm hoping it's been dry here, so I'm hoping this rain will get the deer moving. I don't think it's going to turn cold the day after tomorrow, or not cold, but cooler, so it's going to be hot. Two small bucks come off this ridge and cross this ditch right here at this ditch crossing. One went right behind me, about 10 yards. The other one come up to the base of my tree. He was actually smelling where I was at. They went off and bailed into that creek. It's about 2 o'clock. It's about 1:30 when I saw those 2 bucks, about 30 minutes ago. It's 8:40. Forecast didn't call for rain today. Fox squirrels in that white oak. Forecast didn't call for rain today. But this morning it rained and it's real dark, overcast right now. I looked at the radar, it's calling for rain around 9 o'clock. I'm gonna stay a little longer unless it's hard rain, but I saw that buck at first light this morning. Looked like a 2-year-old 8-point. It was really, really dark when he came in, and it was kind of raining a little bit. It's dark in here. I couldn't tell what he was. He kind of slipped up on me. I hope I got some footage of him. I don't know. It was pretty dark. He was really close. I could have shot him easy, but he just wouldn't. He didn't really fit the criteria for what I'm looking for. I'm gonna try to sit out a little longer. Looks like there's calling for more rain around noon. So I might go back and then come back in here this evening after that rain. Just gonna kind of wait it out. If it's just a light drizzle, I'll stay for a little while. If it starts raining pretty good, I gotta get out of here with this camera and all. Looks like our options are going to be dried beans, this creek running behind them, or on the other side of this road is standing corn with this same creek. I don't know which one to choose. In this last hunt, all I saw was this doe and fawn. As I headed home on a long drive back to Louisiana, I go over the areas I visited, the funnels, the trails, and the pinch points, the ditches, the thickets, the honey locust tree locations, and last year's rubs, putting together fragments of information to begin processing to hopefully put myself in front of a quality buck this November when I return. And then, turning my thoughts onto the approaching Mississippi opener in just a few days. Thanks for watching. Stay with me this season.